morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mindy. This is C Mindy Mom, and today I thought I would do just a little bit of daily vlogging. I haven't been vlogging really since Christmas time when I did Vlogmas, and I don't know that we have a lot that's super exciting going on today. It is Saturday, the kids are home, but I know I have, a lot of new subscribers, so maybe this will be a chance for you to get to see and get to know my kids a little bit, because we've got a very, very cold Saturday. It's 20 degrees outside, so probably not a lot of outdoor time in our future or in our day. But I'll just take you along for the day and show you what we're up to on this lazy Saturday. Right now, I'm trying to get this kitchen under control. I was so tired last night. I mean, we had a nice relaxing evening, but I guess just the stress of the week and the evening and, my husband being sick, he has the flu, and so we're just crossing our fingers that nobody else gets it. It's been a few days now, so hopefully if we can make it through today with nobody else falling sick, we might be in the clear. Hubby and the kiddos are playing some Rat-a-Tat-Cat in the dining room, and I talked about this in my January favorites video, and I will leave a link to that game in the description box if you're interested in it. They love that game. My kitchen is looking so much better. Normally I leave my kitchen clean at night because it is such a good feeling to wake up in the morning to a nice, clean, sparkly kitchen, but I was just pooped last night, so I kind of cleaned up just minimally, put food away, that kind of thing, and I just saved it for this morning for me to do. And I kind of look a hot mess, but I'm just sort of enjoying the lazy Saturday morning and trying to cross some things on my list. Right now, what I'm working on is catching up, entering some of my receipts into my little budget spiral. We keep a budget on the computer. My husband keeps a spreadsheet, and at the end of every month, he'll go through and enter expenses. And we do have a set amount that we try not to go over in various categories. Obviously, there's some that are like non-negotiable, like bills, mortgage and utilities, our life insurance payments, that kind of stuff. And then there are some things that are really more in our control, like consumables purchases, that's groceries and household products, clothing, recreation. We've created a new category this year called activities, which is basically all the kids' stuff, gymnastics and piano lessons and stuff for school and things like that. Like I said, my husband keeps a spreadsheet. I just keep track of it on paper for myself throughout the month so I can kind of see where I stand in a few of the categories where I'm the one making the purchases, which is primarily like groceries, household goods, clothing, that kind of thing. Let me show you. So this is a previous month. This was November, and these were some of the expenses that I was tracking. This was a pretty busy month as far as purchases go, which makes sense because it's the holiday. But what happens is sometimes, I'll make a purchase like this one at Costco, I guess, and the purchase looks like it was around $100 or so, like a little over $100 completely, but only about $62 of it should come out of this category, consumables. It looks like I bought one item of clothing maybe, and then I also bought some presents. So those come out of different categories in our budget. But a lot of times when my husband sees, Costco or Target or Walmart, he's assuming that it is in consumables, or he needs to come and ask me. And instead, I've started to just write down in my little book, hey, here's how this should break down. Here's how this purchase here should break down. Otherwise, it looks like at the end of the month, I'm way, 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 way overdrawn in my consumables, my grocery budget, whenever some of that stuff should come out of a different spot in my budget. And I don't know, one of the things too, that if you don't have kids yet, you might just, prepare for this. But for instance, this purchase was completely for things that I needed to send to school. It was for, it looks like a grocery purchase, right? It's from Target, and it's like pretzels and Quaker bars and some plasticware and some Dixie cups, but those were things that the school asked for, and I don't begrudge them that. I'm happy to provide that. My husband and I have the means to do so, and it's one of the reasons we have our kids in public school, is so that we can stand in the gap where we are needed. And the same thing here in this Walmart purchase. Everything from here up is stuff that I bought, like some Powerade for my husband and stuff, some saltine crackers, but from here down, the cookies and the frosting that I bought were something that McKenna's kindergarten teacher requested for 100th day of school. So when I put that in here, I tried to specify, hey, this was, only $10 of this Walmart purchase should come out of consumables. The rest of it should come out of activities, because that was stuff that I sent for the kids for school. I don't know. Does anybody else, you know, how do you, if you are making a bunch of purchases for your kids for activities and for schools, like how do you budget that? Do you just take it out of wherever in your budget and just budget more? Or do you make a special category for it? You know, anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm catching up on that. I'm watching Rachel at Active Rachel Ann. I will link her channel below. And we're all just chilling. I'm going to finish drinking my coffee, just had my breakfast. My plate is empty. Drinking my water. That's what I'm doing. Okay, we are getting ready to work on Valentine homework. 2 of my kids need to make their Valentine box at home. So I am just taking these snack boxes that I saved, and I have wrapped them in brown paper and then cut a hole on the top. And I also made sure that I left this flap just easy to open, just closed it with a piece of tape so that they could open it easily at the end of the day to see their Valentines. This was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I think I know some things I can do when I do that one to make it a little easier for me. But I'm going to give these to them and let them decorate them with stickers and markers and just other stuff we have on hand. I did not want to go out and buy a bunch of special stuff. And I'm not a Pinterest mom. I'm not going to do some cutesy Valentine box that definitely doesn't look like they did it. So I'm going to let them decorate those. All 3 of mine have to sign Valentines for their classes. So these were the ones I got. And here's what I like about these. They come with stickers that you sign your name to, and then you take the sticker and put it onto the candy. And this is way easier for my littles because the whole point of this for my pre-K and kindergartner, a lot of it is to practice writing their name, right? That's the thing that will be the most tedious for them. And so they can write their name on the sticker and then put it onto the package. Whereas if you get the packages of things where you're supposed to address it on the package, that's a little harder for little hands and people who are just learning how to write to do. So I thought I really liked the sticker method where they can just write their name on the sticker. They're not supposed to address them. They're just supposed to write from who it's from so that they don't have to, you know, sort them out whenever they're passing them out in the class. But I liked these ones that came with the stickers. They can write their name on all the stickers and then slap them on the Skittles and they're ready to go. And so that's what they're going to work on this afternoon. I'm back. I just finished a jog. Sorry, I'm a little breathless. I jogged 1.5 miles. I was hoping I would go a little more, but I got to tell you, today is the first time since I've started jogging again the past couple of months when I just didn't warm up. I mean, temperature-wise, it's cold. It's still in the 30s. I told myself though today that if it made it to 40, that I would get out and jog because it's not going to get any warmer the next few days, and it's supposed to rain. So today was the best day for me to get outside and get a little activity. And you know, you can do activity inside. I know that. I can do exercise videos. I have a treadmill. I have not been on the treadmill the last few days though, even when I've wanted to, because it's in the bedroom and my husband is very ill. He does not feel good at all. And he's been, you know, in there, and I haven't wanted to go in there and make a bunch of noise when he's trying to rest and, you know, get extra sleep and stuff and try to fight this flu. I told myself if the temperature got up to 40 that I would come out. And last time I checked it was 38, so not quite 40, but I decided I would try to brave it, put on some gloves and a hat, my cold weather. I have one kind of cold weather running jersey type thing. And normally I would warm up a little bit after I start jogging, but my face and my hands are still cold, my arms are cold. So I think for me, it's got to be in the upper 40s, not the upper 30s for me to, you know, feel good running. But I still did it. It just feels better getting outside in the fresh air. So I got that done. Kids are finishing up with their Valentine projects, and then I told them that I would pop some popcorn and let them watch a movie. And I will reward myself with a hot shower. And just so you guys know I keep saying this, but we are going, my husband and I are going to film another finance video. We filmed a few videos on household finances and how we budget. We are not Dave Ramsey people. We're not cash envelope people, although we do operate on a budget. We don't have debt. We don't have personal loans or student loans or credit card loans or car loans or whatever, but we do use credit cards. We just pay them off every month. But all that's to say, I've done a few finance videos And I did a 2018 financial wins and fails video and then said, hey, we're going to be back later this week with our 2019 budget and our budget goals. But here it is February and we haven't made that yet. But part of the reason is because our finances have been changing again. When we moved here last summer, we went down to one income, kind of. And then I immediately started to pick up a little bit of work at the church and substitute teaching as well. And we were adjusting to a new budget. But what has happened now is that both my husband and I have seen an increase in our pay because I have picked up a lot more obligations in my job at the church, and he has transitioned into the position that he was really brought here for, which is to be an executive pastor. Which, if you don't know what that is, that's a whole other video. Yes, he's fully ordained clergy in the United Methodist Church, but his role is as the executive pastor of this church that we are at. All that's to say, we just now are kind of figuring out exactly what our income's going to be for 2019, and so we have just now kind of finalized what our budget's going to be and what some of our financial goals are. Before, we were just kind of operating on the budget that we had at the end of 2018. But that's also one of the reasons why, if you watched our 2018 financial wins and fails, we were a little bit overspent in a few of our categories at the end of the year, where we had to kind of dip into savings just a little bit to cover some of our expenses. But that's one of the reasons why we weren't super worried about that, because we thought that you know, we would see a change in our income pretty soon, and happy to say that we have. So I just bring that up because I talked a little bit about my kind of very rudimentary way of tracking just a few categories in our budget. And I thought I would mention, be sure to look for that video, because I know several people have expressed an interest in seeing those. Whenever we post them, everybody chimes in and says, not everybody, but some people chime in and say that they really like those. So I wanted to let you know that one is coming. All right, I'm all showered and cleaned up, and the kids are finished with their Valentine's projects, although I still see across the kitchen they need to come back and finish cleaning up. I thought that would be really fun for them, but there were a couple of meltdowns in that project. You know, and it just goes to show, I guess when you're dealing with kids, you just never know. I mean, a thing that I thought would be an activity that I thought would just knock it out of the park as far as busting the boredom, and we had a few little tiffs that I had to break up. But anyway, I guess that's the way parenting is, isn't it? So I'm all showered and cleaned up, and now going back to my lazy Saturday mentality. Kids are watching a movie, and I'm going to sit by the fire and read. I have some popcorn and a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I'm going to start the 5th Harry Potter book. Mine's a little beat up because I remember I was traveling when I was reading this, and so it's got like watermarks and everything. But I started before Christmas to reread the Harry Potter series because I just thought to myself, well, actually, I think Brianna over at Diva and the Divine mentioned that she was rereading them, and I thought, you know, it's been almost 20 years since I've read some of those books, and I loved them, just like a lot of people. And so I'm going back through them, and it's amazing how much I've forgotten or don't remember or just didn't pick up the first time because I was going so quickly through it to find out what happened. So even though I know some of the big plot points, there's lots of little ones that I did not remember. But I finished the 4th one last night, so I'm going to start the 5th one today, and I've been kind of not dreading. I mean, it's a book, and I will like reading it, but it's my least favorite of the 7, and it's kind of hard to get through. It's the longest one, so I'm just going to get started on that and kind of chip away from that. But enjoy some more of my lazy Saturday. All right, I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot. Walmart Neighborhood Market. Sorry, I don't have very good lighting. The sun is going down. I had to come out to come and pick up some medicine for my daughter. My oldest is not feeling real great. I don't think she has the flu. I don't think she has what Daniel has. I think she just has another virus, like our 3rd one in a week that's come through the house. She's been complaining of a sore throat and runny nose, and I asked her a lot of questions about her sore throat because, you know, I thought strep. Maybe we need to go get a strep test, but she said it doesn't really hurt when she swallows or when she's eating or something, that it hurts the most in the morning and gets better through the day, and that to me says drainage. I know I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor or nurse, but, you know, that to me says that her throat's irritated from drainage So I've just been trying to treat it, you know, at night, trying to give her a decongestant, some children's Sudafed, which I didn't even know that children's Sudafed, like in a liquid form, that it existed until a couple of years ago. And they still have to be, I think, at least 4 before they can take it. And in Oklahoma, we have to ask for Sudafed at the counter, even though it's over the counter. Like, we don't have to have a prescription, but we have to ask for it from the pharmacist, and they scan our license. And I don't know if that's a nationwide thing, but I know it's in lots of states that they do that. I think it has something to do with meth. I don't remember, but I remember it being a big deal and how it's going to cut down on like meth making, that they've passed this Sudafed law. But that's a really long way of telling you that I had to come to Walmart to pick up some medicine. And since I was here, I decided I would grab something for dinner. We were going to do homemade pizzas, but I'm just not really feeling up to it. And there's so many people who don't feel good in the house. And the you know, part of the fun of homemade pizzas is being in the kitchen and making them all together, you know, and kind of having it be a family cook night. And there's too many members of the family that don't really feel like doing that. My husband said chicken tenders sounded good for him, so I picked some up from the deli counter here. That doesn't sound real good to me. I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway, I got him some chicken tenders and some macaroni because both he and Ruthie said that sounded good. The little ones said they wanted, you know, corn dogs or something, which I have in the freezer, so who knows, probably just leftovers from me, but that's okay. But that's where I am now. Emergency Walmart run. I'll check in later if I have anything interesting to show you guys. I feel like this hasn't been very interesting, and maybe why I don't do daily vlogs, because it's just kind of like, well, this is my life. You know, it's Saturday, so I've got sick people, and I've got kids arguing, and we've got, you know, random school projects. I'm trying to get a few minutes to myself to do some exercise. It's just kind of a typical mom life, but I don't know. Maybe it serves the purpose of letting someone else in this season of life know that you are not alone.
5. 400. 5. 400. 5.
What you doing, buddy? Counting down the minutes till your corn dogs are done?
400.
Corn dogs in the air fryer for you?
4.
Oh, 4 minutes. Okay, you guys, it is Sunday morning, and once again, I'm in the bad habit of ending my vlogs the next day instead of the day that I started them on, but I just wanted to hop on here and go ahead and close this one out, and close it out by letting you know that I spoke too soon. Ruthie has the flu. So when I got home last night, husband said she'd been running a fever, so took her to urgent care, got her tested. She's positive for flu. So leaving the husband and the oldest at home while the littles and I go to church. We still feel fine, and I have to direct this morning, so I'll just have to keep my distance from people. But anyway, that's what's going on in our life. I'm going to have to come home and clean like a mad woman. I have been cleaning and disinfecting, but I think there's just only so much you can do with this stuff. So as always, thanks for coming along with me. I don't know if there's anything super interesting in this vlog, but I'd like to do a little bit more vlogging, and I'll talk with you guys more about that coming up, kind of, you know, what I'm thinking about doing on this channel. I try to give you guys a heads up of videos I'm thinking about making, and also take into consideration any ideas you have. But I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll check in with you real soon. Bye.